Hello everybody, welcome back to another Path of Exile video. It has been a few days since I made a long form video. This one isn't going to be too long. The reason for that is because if you haven't seen, if you're not subscribed, maybe you wouldn't know, I've been streaming every single day, multiple hours a day, many hours a day, every day. Just playing the patch and having a lot of fun doing it. I'm on like day 6 in a row. This is day 6 of the patch, just streaming for like tens of hours. Um, yeah, having a lot of fun with that. And I'm going to keep going. So if you want to subscribe, if you want to check out, I might even be live right now. Chances are, based off the past few days, I am. So we've got 2 new posts from GGG. This has been a very buggy patch, and they want to keep us updated that they are paying attention to this. Now, this is the first patch. A lot of these have actually been fixed already, but we also have got what we're working on part 2. We're going to go over some of these and go over what they have fixed that we know of. And yeah, we'll see. Endgame progression issues. Something is changing Expedition Quest bosses into other maps. We're investigating why, but have a workaround to fix it. After it breaks, which will deploy soon. Hilda can also become blocked if the Great Beast on a map with 2 bosses and they're killed in the wrong order. I didn't know that. Thankfully, they didn't get bugged for me. Also, I know that Hilda's quest can be bricked whenever you use an Overseer's tablet to make it like a powerful map boss. It kind of overrides the Great Beasts, and then you've completed the map, you've killed the boss, you can't do the map node again, but her Great Beast quest is still on that map, and you cannot do it. You cannot get the Great Beast. Now, I don't know if they fixed that one yet. Hopefully they have. But that was a big one that I knew about before I did her quest line, so it didn't affect me, and I knew that I could avoid it, so that is very good. But I feel bad for the people who do have that problem. When selecting an Abyss faction with the Balance of Power Keystone, Abysses will no longer spawn in the final maps of an Abyss chain near the Well of Souls. As a temporary workaround, you can select any faction instead. Jado's quest will now not progress if you fail to seal the Sealed Vault encounter. While we're working on a fix, to continue the quest by finding another Sealed Vault on your atlas. I'm about to do the Jado quest line, so that's very important to know. The right of the Nameless quest line can become stuck at the Use Effigy to select 5 maps objective. Okay. Monsters in the Vaal Ruins can sometimes become immune to damage preventing completion. Now, I actually have had this. I have seen this twice, where an entire room of mobs, I don't know if they've heard, if they've seen that, an entire room of mobs were completely immune. And then I did have one where I was going to complete the room. I could have, but unfortunately, one of the monsters in there became immune to damage, which was very unfortunate. Item filters. There's currently a bug preventing item filter sounds from playing. Divine Tanks will be back soon, and they are back at this point. So, if you've played, any time in the last, day now, that has been fixed. Client issues. In some cases, the number of available passive skill points displayed can be incorrect, making it appear that you have more points available than you can actually allocate. We are also working on investigating. Sorry. Yeah, that's just a bug. We are investigating an issue where valid passive skill nodes cannot be allocated when using a controller. I actually had this where a valid passive skill node could not be allocated, but I'm using a mouse and keyboard. Now, I don't know if they know about this. There were like multiple levels in a row doing my Atlas Abyss tree. Like if we bring it out here. Now, I had this node right here unlocked, and I had this node right here unlocked, but I couldn't select this one. And then after I went and did this node, this depth chance, then this one became available. So it like it said, no, you can't do that yet. And then like one level later, it said, okay, you can do it now, which is very weird because they're not gated behind levels. I should be able, I went all the way up here first and did all this, but I should have been able to just boom, 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 boom if I wanted to. And you should be able to do that, but it was not letting me select this node for whatever reason. Luckily, I was worried that my Abyss tree would be bricked and I wouldn't be able to complete it here, to get these 3 nodes, but eventually it did become available and I was able to complete it and everything like that, so we're good. Number of issues causing client crashes. Now, I am still receiving some crashes, and a lot of lag spikes even after the insane pop-off weekend is over. But it has been definitely fewer, and after some fixes that they've deployed. But I did still crash once today. I crashed multiple times the other day, the first few days of launch, but I did still crash once today, so it's not completely fixed, but we're getting there for sure. Okay, now what we're working on part 2. These are more modern issues that they know about. They have not fixed any of these issues yet, that I believe. The other issues, most of them were fixed, and they were discovered and fixed. These ones are, and these aren't just bugs. These are also new changes that they're making, which some of these are very, very interesting. General endgame, we're adding a large number of new Atlas tree nodes, which add more content to specific biomes. Once we add them, the points for these nodes will be added to existing maps, so you will need to get them. You will get them automatically if you have already completed those maps. There's currently a bug where you. Oh, sorry. That is a big one. I do not think that we have a lack of Atlas nodes, but maybe this is some content that they were like, they were trying to cook it before launch and have now just finished it, and they decided they're going to ship it, which is pretty cool. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to complain about the Atlas tree becoming larger. I think the only thing that would make people complain is if they had to do more maps, because already it is kind of crazy. You have to do over 100 maps. Or fight the pinnacle boss at the highest difficulty, which some builds are not capable of, right? Depending on how much time you have to play the game, depending on how skilled you are as a player, and depending on, what the power level is of the build you're going. If you're an SSF, it's even harder. A lot of people will not be able to complete their Atlas tree already, which is very interesting that they're adding more nodes, but it seems like they're just adding points to existing maps. Maybe each map will now be worth 2 points. We'll see. Or maybe specific nodes will be 2 points instead of just 1 point. Yeah, we'll just have to see. It'll be very interesting. Maybe they're making it so that instead of getting 3 points for completing towers, the precursor towers, you get like 5 points, something like that. So yeah, doesn't seem like they're adding new maps. They're just adding more points, and you get the same by doing the same amount of maps. So. That's not a problem at all. I'll happily take free juice, for sure. There's currently a bug where you can't independently map from 2 dependent hideouts all in a party. Oh, that's a bug? I thought that was always just how it's supposed to be. That's cool. I like that you can be in a party and both doing different maps. That'll be fun. The Atlas will remember where it was open to if you reopen it in the same area. That's pretty nice, of course. Some players experience a black screen during quest events that open the Atlas. We are investigating the cause of this. Yes, this has happened to me multiple times. The screen will go black, or you'll just get like the gears going, but the quotes, the mini cutscenes, the panning around the map to show you what's happening. And what you're doing as a part of like completion of the quest will go completely black. There was a time where it went black, something important happened, and I was like, wait, what happened? So I had to like open my Atlas map and try and figure out what it told me to do, because if that didn't happen, if I didn't get the black screen, it would have zoomed in on those 2 areas that I was supposed to go to, but because all I got was like the gears turning, and I didn't get the to actually see what was happening on my map, I didn't see where I was supposed to go. So I had to like find it afterwards by just opening the map and looking. So that's nice that they're doing that, of course. That obviously that is not intended. One of the many, many, many bugs. Ritual, when doing the Rite of the Nameless, you can currently change your mind about which maps you pick. This allows you to potentially see more mods than if you didn't do that. This isn't as bad as it first appears because all the mods you can see are pre-rolled and it only affects selects in that set. But technically it's advantageous to do this. We'll be changing the system to effectively lock in each choice. Oh. Interesting. It is currently possible to get 100% reroll ritual cost reduction. Well, that's kind of cool because there's still limited rerolls, right? I think like if you complete the whole tree, maybe you get some breach tablets that let you do it. I think that could be like a cool strategy. I mean, I guess it's probably not intended, and they're going to Oh, we're capping the stat to 90. Oh, okay. That's fine then. That's 100% fine then. I was gonna say I think that'd be a really cool strategy to be able to do. You know, like once you're at the peak of your ritual juicing and like and investment, you get to basically have free rerolls if you do it right. This mechanic is limited by the number of rerolls you can do per area. Yep, but it is possible through various mechanics to legitimately increase this to fairly high values. Awesome. I'm happy that they're capping it at 90 and not just like removing a bunch of the ways to do it. I think it should be possible. We are turning off the knockback on the Blood Waves ritual mechanic. The Blood Wave? Okay. I wish they'd turn off the ones on the damn Kalgurian mechanic. Bro, those ones destroy me and my friend. The Mysterious Rites nodes needs a buff to his rewards. Hey. Sure. Anything to buff ritual a little bit more. I think unfortunately it's currently the weakest mechanic in terms of actual rewards. Maybe delirium, but with ritual I feel like it's way more luck based than the other mechanics, because you just have to pray that you get good uniques, which there are so many bad ones. And also this is early in the league, so omens are not really high in price yet. I think it'll get a little better as time goes on, and those omens will increase in value. But yeah, unless you get like really lucky with what omens you roll, and really lucky with whatever or really lucky with whatever uniques you roll, which like I said, you have to get extremely lucky. Almost every unique in the game is dog shit and worth nothing. Then yeah, that needs a buff. Delirium. Currently, it is possible to fail a Delirium by moving forward too quickly, especially if the fog is paused doing another league mechanic. We will make this no longer possible. See, oh, I think this happened to me. I think this actually happened to me once. Luckily, it wasn't specifically a Delirium map, but it was just a random regular map with a Delirium mirror in it. Breach Hive colony monsters are getting stuck and not pathing sometimes. This often results in the combat of these encounters being very underwhelming. The Tear Open, the Rift Notable will be made multi-choice to have another bonus added, as it's not always good for all players. Nice. Instead of replacing the rare monsters in stabilized breaches, Vroon will now spawn after you've defeated them. This means that getting Vroon will not compromise your investment into rare monsters. Okay. I haven't done almost any breach, so like this doesn't mean a lot to me. I'm just assuming that this is good, right? Runes of Alder, we're turning off the knockback to the oh, there we go. This is the one. We're turning off the knockback to the tidal waves. Bro, that wave will just take you and slam you and deal like 1,000,000 damage while you're basically being perma-CC'd. It is insane. It's kind of hilarious, but also I've died like 3 or 4 times doing that before I got used to it. And like, you know, now I really look out for the waves. But they took me off guard a few times before. And especially in the campaign whenever I'd find them. The Pinnacle Boss uniques that are crafted from ore are currently not set to the correct item level. This means that the skills are lower level than was intended. Okay, that sounds like a good change coming. Character balance and fixes. Some extra quality stats on gems that came from the Gemling Legionnaire were missing descriptions or had incorrect descriptions. These are getting fixed. Nice. We're adding some new elemental damage clusters to the passive tree near jewel slots to make elemental conversion jewels more useful. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that'll change the build that I'm going, because I'm going Ice Shot Deadeye. So maybe if they add like elemental damage clusters near jewel slots, that might actually change what I run. Might actually open up a new possibility to go there. We are changing heavy stun state to be saved when logging out, preventing abuse when you log out and are stunned or near being stunned. Okay, good. If you log out, cheese, you're cringe. By the way, we will be adding a new rare lineage support Aziri, which allows you to reserve life instead of spirit on reservation gems. Oh, that's cool. A new lineage support to the Aziri drop. My friend will like that because hopefully this is valuable. And my friend will like that because he is a Vol Temple enjoyer. Got that idea from Benjamin Netanyahu. Other general fixes. Using click to move on skills with the always attack without moving option turned on while also holding down the button to move causes some strange behavior where the character stutters or moves when you didn't expect. Bro, I swear this has been happening to me. Click to move skills with the always attack without move. See, because I always attack without moving, because I play ranged builds, and I usually hold down. I usually hold down the button to move while I'm doing it in order to strafe. But yeah, I swear this has been happening to me. Strongbox keywords shouldn't be clickable unless you are holding Alt to prevent misclicks. Nice, nice, nice. The MTX shop is currently showing already owned on some stash shops. I was noticing that, I swear, before the patch even hit. So that's good that they're fixing that. It definitely gaslit me into thinking that I was missing a stash tab before. But luckily I double checked, so I didn't buy it. I was like, I swear I have that. And I did. Controller only. We'll be adding magic/rare/boss weighting back to the targeting system and making this a preference that can be modified. Okay, this is controller only. I don't really know what. Yeah, okay. We are, I guess it's aim assist, right? We are looking into some other reported targeting issues with keyboard mouse where skills are not going where you intend them to. I swear I've been having that tons of times. My arrows are like shooting past mobs and not actually hitting them. I will have my mouse in one area and my bow will still be shooting in a completely random other area. It's crazy. The amount I've been receiving this bug and this bug is insane. So like it says using click to move on skills. But I swear, like I'm not using click to move skills. At least I don't believe that's what it would be considered, but I swear I've still been receiving this issue. Campaign improvements, even more lovely. We've been going a long way to make the campaign smoother. We have other things we plan to do over the next week. Lovely. Pharaoh will reveal the location of. Oh, bro, thank God. I actually didn't get the one in Act 3 that allows you to do upping of uniques. So I literally just took a shit unique because I have so much Verisium, and I took it to the bench to do so, and I thought it would be cool. To see what it does, right? Just to see what, cool things it adds. And I couldn't do it. And I was like, what? He said, you have to complete the quest. I was very confused. I thought I completed all of them. Apparently I just didn't find the one in Act 3 in the Venom Crypts. Is that what it is? The Venom Crypts? Wherever it was. I didn't find the one in Act 3. So that was like really annoying. I had to go back and do that while I'm like level 90. It was very weird. Singing Caverns. We will make the mechanic of listening to which direction the siren is singing more obvious so you can find her more easily. I didn't even realize that. Maybe I had my headset turned off. Maybe I just didn't notice it. Interesting. So you can hear, like if you have headphones on, which direction she's singing from? That is really cool. I didn't know they made audio cues as well for maps. Very cool. Journey's End. We will add a portal from the boss back to the NPC to make it more obvious that you need to continue the quest. I don't see how that's ever a problem, right? That's just nice to not have to like summon your portal or anything like that. Mechanerium. Ugh. We will make it so that if you checkpoint back to the start, you no longer have to wait for power to be slowly restored. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Don't have to just stand there whacking off. Halls of the Dead. We will make the location of the objects that give you permanent character boosts more obvious. Nice, nice, nice. Because some of them are not changeable. Some of the, like, Halls of the Dead, that's the one where you have, like, 7 different shrines, and you can go back and change them. Is that the one I'm thinking of? I don't know. I really do feel like that they should have, like, a little warning for newer players, at least. Maybe, like, a little tutorial tip that shows up on, like, your first character every league that says, this option is permanent. This choice is permanent. Or you could say this choice is a permanent change to your character, but can be changed later for the ones that can be changed later. But some of them some of them cannot be changed later, which I do think that they should change. I know it's like obviously not like completely, I don't know, immersive to be able to go back and change some of them. Like some of them are permanent for like thematic wise. Like obviously you wouldn't be able to reverse doing that, but I still think that you should be able to reverse all of them, because I do feel like that is, not new player friendly. Like I didn't know on my first ever character whenever I started playing the game, on the first league that I did this, which I think was the release 0.1, I did not know that these choices were 100% permanent. Like I thought I could change all of them whenever I like realized, and then I realized that I couldn't change some of them. Azak Bog, completing the fire ritual in the center of the zone will point you in the direction of the boss. Okay, thank God. Thank God. That's nice. That's nice. That area does kind of sucks. The shark fin quest currently has a confusing state where you had to do a bit of optional dialogue in order to get the option to turn it in. See, bro, I swear this happened to me. I went to the shark lady, and she didn't have anything for me. Like she didn't let me turn in the shark fin that I had. I had to like leave the area and come back, and then because I had talked to her in the past in the other area, then she was available to have it turned in. Very weird. And then controller trait improvements. If you're a controller player, you can read those really quick, but I'm going to do the outro. So thank you all for watching. I've been really enjoying this patch. I'm going to do a little bit of a review, a little bit of my thoughts, some things I can think of. There's obviously going to be not another nitpick video, as there is for every patch. That, you know, I where I go and I pick like at like up to 5 things that are really bothering me about the about the game at the moment. Even if it's like little nitpicks. And then I'm going to do another podcast very soon within this, I would assume before the week is over. I'm going to have another episode of the Simply Divine podcast. Me and my friend, Archive Esoterica, are going to do the podcast again. So yeah, I appreciate you all watching. Subscribe, come check out the streams, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.